Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel Little Pearls of Randomness. We are still on a Christmas theme, and today, I know it's a little bit late, but you know, it's better late than never. I'm going to show you how to make your own Christmas wreaths. Okay, so the Christmas wreaths I'm making are pretty simple to make. They are two different things. I quite like my wreaths and stuff textured, so I do like different textures and stuff on them, just to make them a little bit different than the usual sort of holly and I don't know what those green leaves are, but whatever they're called, type ones. So yeah, making two different styles, just to give you some ideas on what you could do. So the first one I'm making is this one. I'm calling it the angel wreath, because it's kind of like an angel's wing, I suppose. Yeah, but I think it's quite pretty. It's got a little bow. This one is the simpler one out of the two. And then I'm going to show you how to make this one. This one's very cute. It is a Pom Pom wreath. So I don't know if you can see that very clearly. Yeah, so this is the Pom Pom wreath. This one takes a lot more time to make, but I kind of think this one is the cuter one out of the two. But despite my personal preferences, I will teach you how to make both. And if you're interested in how to make these, then please keep watching.
If you'd like to make one of these lovely wreaths, you need a polystyrene ring. I got mine from Spotlight, 2 feather boas, again from Spotlight, and also a wire ribbon, again from Spotlight. Glue gun I had already. Yeah, just make sure that you've got plenty of refills. So first of all, you need to take one of the ends and attach it to the polystyrene wreath. Just make sure that it is properly dry before you continue on. So basically it involves taking the boa and wrapping it around the wreath. Just make sure that with the 2 feather boas you get to the halfway point with each of the boas. Yeah, and just gluing it occasionally. So I would do it for about 1/3 and then just do a line of hot glue gun stuff, and then make sure that the boa actually sits on top of the glue properly rather than to the side or anything like that. Again, super duper simple. Once I get to the end of the boa, I just make sure that that ropey bit is stuck down properly, making sure as much of it as possible is glued down before starting on the new boa. With the new boa, I want to hide that ropey end, so what I do is I stick it down and then I wrap it around and make sure the first wrap is over the top of the ropey bit before continuing on. Again, just making sure that I glue every third along the way and making sure that the boa actually sits on top of that glue. Now I'm at the end, I want to hide that ropey bit as much as possible, so I'm just going to sort of create a little bit of a hole, glue it down, and make sure that a lot of feathers cover it. Now I'm going to take the ribbon and create a little loop so the wreath can be hung. Measure out as much ribbon as you think you're going to need to give it a decent amount of hanging space and to go around the actual wreath itself. Once you're happy with what length you've got, then just cut it, grab the wreath, and then take the ribbon and sort of put it around it and tie a little knot. Try and tie it as close to the edges of the ribbon as you possibly can, and it also makes hiding the ends of the ribbon a lot easier to do if you do it this way. And now for the bow, I'm just measuring out what I think I'll need, so I'm just sort of making a makeshift bow to give me an idea of how much ribbon I will need for it. Once I'm happy with the size of the bow, I'm just going to take my scissors and cut the length. And to get started, tie a knot in the center of the ribbon. From there I make my ribbon. I'm just trying to get the actual bow part as even as possible so it looks cute. Now that the bow is made, I just want to make sure that I can place it in a good spot and actually glue it down. Yeah, so I'm just trying it out first, and then I'm taking my glue gun and putting a lot of glue down into that little space I made before I glue down the actual ribbon. If you've got one like me, make sure you don't burn your fingers. And the final product. I'm very pleased with how this turned out, and yeah, I think it looks quite cute. Onto the Pom Pom wreath. So obviously this involves pom poms. I've made mine using a pom pom maker. So if you don't have a pom pom maker, I seriously recommend getting one. So this is how you do the pom pom maker. You take one end of the strand and wrap it around the sort of rainbow shape. Once it's completely full, you kind of snap it shut. I take the rest of the thread through that little bit there, and then take the scissors and cut off the thread. I've actually done the other side, so what I do is I go through one of the sides and cut it up through the middle. There is a nice little divot to allow you guidance on making sure that it's nice and straight. So you do the other side if you haven't already done it. Then you take a strand, cut it off, and you're going to use this to kind of tie the pom-pom together. So it's got that little divot again. Make sure it is nice and tight as you do this, and then you just do a big knot. Make sure again that it's super tight as you've done this. So then you take out the little rainbow bits on both sides and then pull the pom-pom maker apart. Now you've got yourself a lovely little pom-pom, but of course a pom-pom is going to need a bit of a haircut to get rid of those straggly ends. So just take your scissors again and give it the haircut it needs. In total, I think I made around about 120 of these little pom-poms. Again, you're going to need a polystyrene wreath, a lot of pom-poms, and then what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that I distribute my pom-poms really well. So I'm just taking the wreath and marking out it into 8s. I then take my glue gun and start gluing them down, making sure that there is sufficient amount of glue to stick these things down. It is wool, so just remember that. I'm trying to make sure that these are distributed as well as possible in terms of the colourway. So I'm trying to do it in 3s. Purple, gold and white, and then again purple, gold and white in gaps where there isn't that particular colour there in the first place. To be fair, this did take a little while because I wanted to make sure that there was no polystyrene edges, but you also need the polystyrene in the back to help make sure that when you put the wreath wherever you're putting it, it stays nice and flat. Almost done. It's taken a while, but I think so far it looks seriously cute. And here it is in its finished glory. I'm very proud and I really like this one.
Okay, well I hope you guys enjoyed that little tutorial on how to make your own Christmas wreaths and stuff. Yeah, so this is obviously the second in the Christmas series, and we've got one more to go. So if you enjoyed this one, please stick around for that one. That one will be coming out in a couple of days time. Yeah, and if you choose not to come back, then I hope you guys have a great holiday season. Keep safe. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you know, watch out for the old sunburn. If you're in the northern hemisphere, please keep warm. And if you're in the middle, then I don't really understand how weather works. If you're towards the middle, I'm guessing it's warmer, so yeah, maybe sunscreen again. Yeah. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys back here at some point. Thank you. Bye.